it's a big trend right now. Everything I'm doing is from TikTok, like the whole Rice Krispie treats pre-workout. I'm doing that.
Oh, what's that? Tell us about that. What's the Rice Krispie treat pre-workout?
Apparently, these simple carbs, give you like a good pump at the gym. But I just noticed I'm just gaining weight. I don't know.
Pocket party.
All right, we're gonna call my buddy Mr. CAMEO, aka the Asian Webmaster. By the way, do us a favor, guys, and go to YouTube and leave a comment and a like and subscribe and share this episode. There he is, CAMEO. How are you, buddy?
What's up, man?
Good to hear from you. So for some listeners that may know, I had a previous podcast, and Say would come on and say, "Can you do your intro from the old days?"
Asian Webmaster, gong.
It was so stupid. It was so stupid, but I was like, the way that came about was Say is a friend that we became friends, but when the way that I first met you is you were designing all these websites for these great comedians, a lot of them that worked at the Comedy Store and the Laugh Factory, and at that time my web guy, I think they used to call them webmasters. It always sounds funny, right? Webmaster.
I actually prefer just master.
Yeah, I used to call my master, and I'd be like, "Please help me change these dates on my website."
Oh man, those are the good old days.
I know.
Good old days.
Yeah, because my web guy, I used to just call it my web guy. My web guy was I used to use Gabriel Iglesias's, the Fluffy, and he was out of Texas, and it just got too difficult. He's in Texas, I'm here, and then, life got busy, and he'd be like, "Oh, can I get to it on next Thursday?" And I'm like, "Dude, I need it now." So then I saw what you were doing, and I was like, "Man, I got to get a hold of this guy." And I remember talking to Joe Coy, and Joe Coy was like, he's like, "Yeah, these guys are great, man. There's two guys that designed it." And I remember him telling me, he goes, "I can't remember. There's two of them." He goes, "One was good, one was bad." He goes, "But I don't know which one was which." So I just went with you, and I still don't know if you were the good one or the bad one.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah, let's toss that coin. I know.
Heads.
Heads. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's me. I'm the bad guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was good times, man. I enjoyed working with everybody in the industry at the time.
Those were the good days, because I remember you're like, "Well, I'm not really a webmaster. I'm more of a web designer. I'm a designer." And designer sounds better. That's like a better word than, You're like,
we were doing Flash at the time. That was when, was that 10 years ago?
I think it might have been,
Flash.
Might have been like 12.
People don't know Flash. Yeah.
It was right on the border or the cusp, because I thought it was a killer website. Like, you'd go there and all these graphics would move around. But then when I'd show it to other comedians, they're like, "Oh, still using Flash, eh?" And I'm like, "What does that mean?" Like, I didn't know that. I didn't know the
from
end.
2000 to 2008, maybe. That shit was dude. Everybody wanted Flash.
Oh yeah, I probably got with you around 2008 or 2009.
It was like art. It was art in web form. That was what it was. It was like, just imagine like a tattoo artist and just make it into web form where they just make shit move, and it was entertaining. It was an entertaining type of art. It was fun.
I thought it was cool, and then remember, like, about 6 months into it, I'm like, "Hey man, my website's not showing up on people's cell phones," because that was right around the time when like websites could show up on cell phones. The iPhone came out.
What is SEO? What's that?
yeah. And you were like, I remember like it would fit, but it wasn't quite fitting right. And then so yeah, we're like, "Okay, let's do this HTML style or whatever it was." I still don't know the words.
You would Google Darren Carter, and some ventriloquist would come up.
I know. I was like, "Dude, that's not me. It's like some soccer player out of England." So then we had to fix that, and then everything just moved so rapidly in that world, And then YouTube took over, Instagram, Facebook, and then people really weren't going to websites like they were. I mean, they still do, but it's just I don't know. I think it'll all come back on some level. You know what? Do you know what? Are you familiar with? I'm sure you are. QR codes.
Of course, yeah.
So I was ahead of my time, I guess, because I had my one of my albums came out, my comedy album. By the way, guys, who are listening, I have 4 comedy albums, and please purchase them or something, stream them, whatever you want to do. But anyway, so when my fourth album came out, it's called The Party Continues. I had these stickers made up, and the guy that designed them, he put a QR code. He goes, "That's great, dude. That way they put their camera, they go to this 2016, and excuse me." And he goes, they'll put their camera, it'll lead them right to the landing page. They'll go to iTunes, boom, there you go. But nobody back then really were familiar with QR codes. So it was just like this little weird design. But now they are, because there's like these touchless menus, because of what we've been going through. So now people see a QR code, they're so used to it. They just whip their camera out, boom, and then it takes them right to the landing page.
Right. Yeah.
So here's my point. I just discovered this the other day. If you go to if anybody listening, go to Instagram, and there's those 3 dots at the top, and you click those 3 dots, there'll be a pull down menu on your Instagram, and one of the choices will say QR code. And if you click QR code, boom, a QR code pops up. So anytime someone goes, "What's your Instagram?" you just show them that QR code, and they put their camera right up, and it'll take them right to your Instagram page.
That's right, guys. Make sure you guys go do that.
Hey, who's
I'm sitting in my car outside the gym, and someone just walked by that I knew. I'm sorry.
Who's the webmaster now? Now the teacher is teaching the student. No, wait, the student is teaching the teacher. Whatever, you get the idea. So, but yeah, so do that QR code thing. It's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting.
QR codes are awesome, man.
Yeah,
They do it in restaurants now too. That's like they don't. Remember, there's like a. Is it like paperless menu, and they just make you like take a picture of the QR code, and the menu would come up? Have you seen that?
Say, you haven't listened to a thing I've said in the last 3 minutes. That's how I said this thing came about. I said it wasn't popular in 2016. You know what you need? Are you doing this in your car right now?
Did I say I was in my car? I'm in my office. What are you talking about?
No, you said you're in your car. So you're in your car and you're outside of a gym looking at hot chicks walk by. Is that what's happening?
I didn't say any of that stuff. I just said a friend walked by, and I was like, "Hey, I'm kind of giving him the sign like I'm in the middle of a meeting or something."
I'm in the middle of a podcast talking about QR codes.
I didn't want to say podcast. He'll sneak his head. Oh, what kind of podcast? No.
Yeah.
Don't.
You put up your sunshade so no one sees you. Do you have a sunshade?
I don't. I just got my dude. Someone stole my Lokes. They stole my glasses, man. Broke into my car.
Let's talk about that. Your car got broken into. So what happened?
Dude, it was a Sunday, and I'm watching football. My neighbor knocks on my window. He's like, "Hey, someone broke into your car. Your window is smashed." Freak. Oh, no. So I go downstairs, and there's like shattered windows everywhere. I'm like, "Oh my goodness, what?" I go in the car. This is the second time, by the way. The first time, my car wasn't locked, and they went in there and they stole my my headphones, those Beats, those Power Beats that I just bought. Yeah,
oh yeah.
Power Beats, you know,
and where did you?
Beats.
I'm always curious about this. Do you think you left the Power Beats on the passenger seat or like really visible?
No, I had nothing like visible. Like it was just some old dirty clothes and.
How did they find the Power Beats? Where did you store them?
Went into I put them on my was it center console, and they went in there and took my Power Beats, my AirPods, and my what else did they take? All my sunglasses, both my sunglasses. So those were gone. Yeah.
Dang.
Or you would call it.
And that was when you had the car unlocked. So the next time. So how long went? So they broke into your car.
No, that was the first time they stole just my AirPods. The second time they stole the AirPods I replaced, and they also stole my glasses.
And the headphones, man. And how much time went by? Like, was this like a year went by between the break-ins?
Maybe 4 months.
Gosh. And so the second time they broke a window, which window did they break?
The passenger side window.
Yeah, that happened to me a long time ago. The passenger window. Then I used to have a window that was like the little triangle-shaped window. Like the one time they broke into that window.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of live in a shady side of the end of Long Beach, and there's just a lot of bums and a lot of meth heads and stuff like that. So, you got to be careful and lock your stuff up. And we've been trying to get the gate fixed in my apartment, but it's just, they just couldn't seem to fix the mechanics of it. So, you gotta, there's like, yeah, I don't know what to say. Just keep your doors locked. And I put up a sign that say, "Hey man, my door is unlocked. If you want to take anything you want. There's nothing in here."
Wow.
Yeah, just don't break my shit, please.
That was
And also,
Yeah.
I also bought a Ring camera for my car, so that's kind of cool.
Oh, that's cool. A Ring camera, so anytime somebody walks by. Oh, I didn't know they made those. So I know they make it for the front door. So, and where does the camera go?
Dashboard.
Okay, so your car's unlocked and you have a Ring camera on your dashboard. And where do you park so my listeners can go get it?
It's in the garage in Long Beach.
And the shady. Okay, well, listeners, make sure we go to the shady part of Long Beach. We drive around. We look for this unlocked car. You can win a prize from a webmaster. His skills that pay the bills from 2000 to 2008.
Yeah, man.
Oh my god!
The cool part is the cool part about that was I didn't know about how to fix broken windows. And my neighbor, and he's this Laotian guy. He's really cool. He comes out. He's like, "Hey, I got a phone number for you. You want to?" I go, "What's his number?" "Oh no, they come to your place and fix the window for you." Yeah, I was like, "Cool." So I called him, and this guy was based out in L.A. I live in Long Beach, so I'm like, "Oh, do you really come out to fix windows?" He's like, "Oh yeah, we can come out." And he sends some guy out, and this guy had a whole, he had the truck full of windows. He had, he came and literally fixed my window. I kid you not, in 20 minutes. And he did an excellent job. Like he cleaned the broken glasses, and he's just, he made sure everything was aligned perfectly. I was like, just leave it to the Mexicans, man. Leave it to the Mexicans. They break your window, and they have their cousin install it.
I'm sorry, buddy. I'm in my car, and some people just walked by. My friend just walked by. Yep. That's right, guys. Have someone install it. No.
That was really cool, man. I gave him a good tip.
That's good. That's good. That sounds like I know. I was just joking. So that could be something in your stand-up act. Hey, my one neighbor broke my window, and then his cousin fixed it.
Yeah, it's a bunch of Latinos standing outside with tickets.
I know.
with corns and piñatas.
I remember when I was walking when I went through New York City, and I remember that was one of the oddest things I saw. I remember we were walking through Manhattan. I don't know which part, but it was somewhere in Manhattan, and there were all these cars that had signs in their windows, like clear, and it'd say, "I have no radio." And then the next one would say, "I have no stereo." And they were saying, "Please do not break window. My doors are unlocked. I have no radio." Wow. And it was because that was a big thing, I guess, back then, to break into people's cars and steal remember they even had like the fake face, the pull away face for your stereo, your car stereo.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's still a thing or not, but I remember that was a big deal back in the day to the removable face, and you would take it into the club with you so they couldn't steal your radio.
Yeah, I didn't mind them stealing. I had those stolen a few times, but when they steal remember those Case Logic where you keep all your albums, your CDs?
Oh yeah.
Remember those?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I still have a couple left over, and I bring them to the shows because I still have comedy albums left over, my comedy CDs.
What's up, guys? How you like the show so far? Pretty good, right? Kind of weird that I'm out here in the country with the chair next to me, but anyways, if you like this show and you want to help out, go to CAMEO. I do birthday shout-outs, anniversary shout-outs, or if you just want to do a donation, go to DarrenCarter.com, PayPal, or Venmo at Darren Carter Comic. Now let's get back to the show.
Thank you for watching. Now please subscribe and ring that notification bell. Over my comedy CDs. I still bring those around. I know. Dude, I know it looks. They're convenient. It's a Case Logic case, and I put the CDs in there. I throw some flashlights. I throw some stickers.
Jeez.
And occasionally, some old school person will buy the CD because they want the real physical copy.
Hey, there's a thing called, I don't know if you know this, there's a thing called QR codes now.
I know, dude. Oh my gosh! I just realized I'm like putting.
You just take a picture. You take a picture, and your album comes up.
It's one. It's like
download it,
it's kind of
stream
cool
it.
if you do like one or two things that make you seem like you're getting old. But when you start bringing like five things, like I got my Case Logic, my comedy CDs. Yeah. Yeah.
Like the club.
I got the club. Oh yeah, I got the club right there on my steering wheel. And what if I'm so old school? I actually hand them headphones to let them listen to a couple of tracks, like they used to do at like the Virgin Record Store, the Tower Record Store. You know,
Oh, man,
here it's
I remember
plugged
those
into my
days.
disc, man. Go ahead and give it a listen. If you like the first three tracks, give me a purchase.
I can break the seal. It's okay.
I know, dude. I remember I walked into the club once, like a comedy club, and I had, I wore like I just went to the Glendale Mall and I went to the Adidas store and I had my I had my Adidas sweatsuit with the three stripes going. It looked really fashionable. It was blue, and I still have it, blue and with the white stripes, and I had everything all Adidased out, right? And then right when the girl saw me, the young waitress, she's probably like 21 or 22. She goes, taking it back to the old school. And I was thinking, like, I just bought this today. Like, how is this old school? But yeah, it was like,
It's the old school look, but a new school look.
yeah, I knew what she meant, but there was a second there. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah. Oh yeah, I remember hanging out with this girl one time before I was married, and she went to Northridge University.
Hold on, hold on, I'm sorry. You're getting to the age where even compliments offend you.
Yeah, even compliments offend you. You look well. That happens to. I know people where you're like, you look good today. Well, what do you mean about today? I didn't look good yesterday.
Right.
Yeah, but I remember there was this. I met this girl. We hung out for like an hour once, and she or maybe an hour. I don't even think I lasted that long. It was kind of like, this is boring. I'm out of here. But I was wearing a. This is the '90s, and I was wearing a T-shirt that said, I think it was like, remember those Calvin Klein T-shirts? Like this, they would say like CK.
Yeah.
And she was like, "You're still wearing those?" And I was like, I did not realize at that time that clothes had an expiration date. I was like,
Wow.
I know. I was like, I thought this was fashionable. Like, I have no idea what people are wearing. What would you wear right now? Like, if you had to go out and be like, see, that's weird because there's a line between looking what's cool and modern to looking like for me, looking cool, modern, and hip to looking like, dude, are you wearing your son Austin's clothes right now? Like, are you wearing?
I just copy what the black guys are doing.
There you go with like the sneakers, the J. What do they wear? Like the
the Jordans,
the J's, the fashionable
after
Nike.
a while, you're like, oh, dude, this is really hard to keep up. It's very expensive.
Yeah, because so like you know how like Mercedes or BMWs, like the better the car is, the higher the number is. Like, is it a 3 Series or 4? Does that happen with like Nike high top Jordan type shoes?
Yeah, man. There's like limited edition shoes.
So in other words, a person can't just go down to the mall and pick out like a pair of like, I want Nike Jordan high tops. These are what's happening. Because then you may go to the club around people that know what's happening. They're like, dude, you got like the low level Nike. You got it. Those are so like.
I'm that guy because as a kid, man, that was the thing that that was the desired shoes, and I was lucky enough for my mom to buy the actual Jordans that came out that actual year, and I knew what was up. So as an adult, I always had a thing for Jordans, right? And it's a funny story. Me and my two buddies, they're black guys, right? We're in the club.
Wait a second. Are you in your car? And you're in your car? Why did you just lower your voice? These guys are black guys. like
I'm in Long Beach.
Yeah, somebody has like extra sensitive hearing.
Shady
Hey,
area.
hold up, man. Did someone just say the black guy? Who said that?
Yeah. But this is like there's shoe discrimination out there. So I've always these two guys are older, you know what I mean? So they buy these Jordans, and I tell them, yo, man, those ain't real Jordans, man. Those are like Team Jordans.
Wow.
And he's like, man, you know what you're talking about, man. These are Jordans. They got the Jumpman logo. I'm like, no, those are kind of like the knockoffs of Jordans. And like, whatever, man. So we went to a club, and I had my real Jordans on that were kind of like fresh at the time at the Blue Royals. And I remember they stopped all three of us. He's like, "Oh man, we can't let y'all in." He says, "Dress code, y'all ain't got the shoes for it."
Really?
And they checked both of my man's shoes, and they looked at mine. He's like, "Okay, you good."
Wow. Wow, that's cool.
So they have to go sit back in the car, and I'm in the club. I'm like, "Yo, where you guys at?" He's like, "You better bring your ass back out here." So I had to come back out, but that was kind of funny because I've been trying to tell him like, "Yo, you need to. Those are not real J's, bro." So.
You had to walk your little blue Jordans out. No, so I just looked it up right now. It said, when did Jordans come out? And according to the website that I'm on, it says April 1st, 1985. The original Air Jordan sneakers were produced exclusively for Michael Jordan in late 1984.
Yeah.
Wow. See, I just thought they were like, I just called them Nike high tops. I didn't know that they were actually Michael Jordans. I didn't know. When did they become a big deal? Because was it the late 80s? I don't know. Was it a big deal in 85? I don't remember. I remember people. I remember comedians doing jokes about people getting mugged for their shoes, and that was probably late 80s. I remember those jokes.
Yeah, I didn't get my first pair of Jordans until like the 90s. I think it was the fives. I got the fives, and the ones didn't come back in. We were talking about the 85, the Jordan ones. Those didn't come in style. I didn't like those. Those are really rare to get, and then they re-released them within the last 10 years. So people have been getting the new releases, but yeah. Now they release them every 5 years or so, and they kind of change them a little bit to make it more modern, more comfortable.
Man, if you Google people getting mugged for shoes, it just goes on and on. A teenager was robbed, fatal muggings, violent robberies, muggers rip, $350 Kanye West designed sneakers off feet of a 15-year-old teen's ambush.
Kids listening, just give up the shoes, man. It's not worth your life, dude.
Why are people mugged for shoes? There's a whole article about it. Yeah.
I got sweated for my shoes when I was a kid once in junior high. Like, coming home from school, and the guy's like, "Give me your shoes." I'm like, "Dude, you were not even the same size. Take it."
Yeah. He's like, "These are for my baby brother."
Right.
Gosh, man. Yeah, that's, I remember working with this dude, this old school dude. He was a teacher, then he became a comic. He's out of Kansas City. Shout out to Purvis Powell. And Purvis said,
Powell.
Yeah, Purvis, he was, I remember him saying something once. He said that, this is back in 20 years ago. I don't know if his philosophy's changed, but back then he was like, "I don't want to purchase things that people want to break in and steal. That's why when I get money, I buy antiques. I purchase antiques." So there you go. That's a good philosophy. Like, forget the Jordans. Why don't you go out and get some like Red Wing boots or something?
Yeah.
No one's stealing these. No one's stealing my hush puppies. No.
Right. Oh man.
How about penny loafers? Did you ever wear penny loafers?
Penny loafers are kind of in now.
Oh, are they? Wow. See just like QR codes. QR codes made it come back, and then like
it's low key. It's gonna take the world by storm. You're gonna see a bunch of kids wearing loafers pretty soon. Yeah, everything I learned is all from TikTok, man.
Oh, really? See, I know, right, dude? It's so what? I was resisting TikTok for the longest time because I would just see the dumb stuff on there. It would be on the news. It'd be like this TikTok called Deviant Licks, and then they'd be destroying bathrooms and Not just the normal putting paper towels down toilets. Like they would like be literally removing the toilet, putting it in the classroom hallway, and be like, showing off like how crazy they can, like this is a deviant lick. Like all trying to outdo each other, like rip up the ceiling tiles and just like destroy and, and so that's my when I first saw TikTok, it was like nurses dancing, and I was like, I don't want any part of that dumb crap. But people kept telling me, get on there, you should get on there. And then a friend of mine who had zero luck on anything social media, zero, like hardly anything, he started putting stand-up clips, and he got like thousands of views, and one of his videos got 1 million views. And I was like, damn. So then I got on TikTok about 5 months ago, and you're right, it does actually, depending on what you see and what you watch, you do kind of become aware of what's happening out in the world, right? Like who would know that penny loafers, made a comeback? Yeah.
I initially got into TikTok, I think because you told me about it, and then I started like scrolling through it. I'm like, oh, these are cool life hacks.
Yeah, depending.
You can do that.
Yeah, depending on what your algorithm takes you to, depending on what you start to watch and like, you learn like, and also like the songs. Like I was driving down the road the other day. I went to the Brea Improv and I heard that on Sirius XM they're like TikTok Radio Channel 4, and I put it on Channel 4 and man, it was just like one good song after another, and I'm like, oh, this is what was missing in my life because of TikTok. You're hearing 15 seconds at a time all these songs. Because when I put it on like the popular FM stations with whatever's happening now, like Power 106, I can't even get through it. It'll be like one bad song and then a bunch of commercials, and I'm like, okay, this is not my demographic. I'm not the guy they're looking for. But on the TikTok radio, it was all those songs that like that coffin dance song, like doot 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 doot, that coffin dance song.
Yeah.
I forget the name of it, but do 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 do, or I'm bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Remember that song on TikTok?
Yeah.
Or what's it? Bomb 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 bomb. Do you know that one?
Yeah. Oh my God, that's I hear that. Those songs can get in your head sometimes.
Okay, the coffin dance song is called Astronomia. Or how about this other one? Do you remember this song? How about this one? I think it's called Moleskin or something like that, or Manskin. I don't know. They're like from Scandinavia, I think. It's that one song. It goes, I'm begging you. I'm begging. Yeah. Or here's another TikTok song you hear all the time. Hey now, I'm an all-star. Put your game on, get paid. Or, we are number one. We are number one. Or how about, do you know the song by, I think his name is Darude Sandstorm? Sandstorm.
Yeah.
For people who have no idea what I'm talking about, they're like, no, I do not know and I don't want to know. But remember, my son, AusTheBassBoss. Yeah, my son, AusTheBassBoss. He's the musician. I'm not the musician.
Yeah, he's awesome, by the way, guys. If you get a chance to see him, go to his YouTube. What is it?
It's called AusTheBassBoss. AUS, AusTheBassBoss. 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 He has a video that has over 1 million views.
That's insane.
It's insane.
That's so cool, man.
It's crazy. It's cool. And you know what? It was funny because when he first put it up, I go, or maybe he had almost 1,000 views, and I go, you know what, son, I want to really get you to 1,000. I go, would you like? And I was joking. I go, would you like me to bless you with a single tweet? He's like, yes, Father, bless me with a single tweet. All right, son, I will bless you with a single tweet. And of course, nobody retweeted it or even hit like on that tweet. But after that tweet, it got to 1,000 and then 10 and then 100,000 and then over 100 million. So I'll tell you the current views on this thing, and it just got 100.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Are you trying to take credit for your son's success?
Absolutely. That's all I have to say. My biggest guest is sitting in a car of a gym parking lot, and his pride and joy is that he leaves his doors unlocked and he has a ring. And he lives Okay, no, his video is called "How to Annoy Your Friends with Only 5 Notes," and it's been up for almost 3 months, and it has 1,025,210 views as of this recording.
Wow.
I know, isn't that crazy? It's like, wow.
Bum, 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 bum.
Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, so I put on that TikTok radio, and I was like, actually, I heard like 3 great songs in a row, and then I heard maybe like a bad song, but then I just flipped over, and then by the time I went back, there was another good song. I'm like, wow, this TikTok thing is like, it's invading like the radio and, like you said, trends, and it's really, man, crossing over to many facets of society. Like Instagram is trying to compete with them with their Instagram Reels.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they are. Yep.
And so you're finding.
I find myself switching back and forth sometimes. I'm like,
yeah, and Reels is pretty good, which I like. I use the Reels. So penny loafers. So that was the thing. It became popular in my mind with Michael Jackson when he'd wear those penny loafers and the high waters and the white socks and so that's coming back. Wow, it's interesting. I wonder if they're still going to put pennies in their shoes. You know what I mean? Or is there some kind of modern thing? Oh, I put NFTs of Bitcoin. That's what I put in there, bro. I put NFTs of Bitcoins.
It's non-fungible.
Yeah. I'm going to sit there at the merch table with my Case Logic case with my old school penny loafers with real pennies in
Your
there.
club.
They're like, dude, my club. Yeah, I know. I still have the club in my car. I keep it in the trunk, but I do have it for.
I remember I think you brought your club into the club one time.
Yeah, I know, right? I used to, I figured now that would be actually a good tool because modern thieves probably have no idea what it is. They probably very rarely see a club, if they've seen a club. They wouldn't even know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, you know what I used to do? This is how old, I could never even do this joke. It wouldn't even make sense. Hold on one second. With, remember people didn't want to keep their CDs in their car because people would break. So I used to think, I thought, it'd be a good idea. And I actually did this. I would purchase the real CD, burn a copy of it, and then keep the burned copy in the CD. That way you don't carry it. And you have a Sharpie. That way you know what it is. And I thought, what if you just mislabeled all of your CDs? Like the Bible, chapter 1 or whatever. The New Testament CDs. The Old Testament.
That would suck.
But I don't think that burglars are really reading what your CDs are. They're just taking and running off.
It's like a free for all.
So what else are you learning from TikTok?
There's side hustles. Yeah. I think real estate. I guess everybody's buying homes and renting them out as Airbnb now. I was like, is that possible? He's like, yeah, you can do it without, you have bad credit or whatever. I was like, all right, let's see what this. So I actually signed up for a phone call with one of these guru guys set next week. So I want to kind of just, see what they can offer. So.
Oh, cool. So you go on there and you look at side hustles, like ways to make money. And one of them was purchasing a house and then renting it out as Airbnb.
Yeah, people are Airbnb-ing their homes now. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
I guess it's cool if you're the one making the money, but it would be terrible if you're the neighbor and you're like, that house next door, they keep renting it out for porn sets. Meanwhile, some jackass is in Long Beach on the shady side of town, like, more money, more money, more money.
I thought we were supposed to keep this PG.
Oh yeah, we did. Oh, I meant, they're renting it out for romantic movies. Non-union romantic movies.
So there's side hustles like that. There's all kinds of stuff, and all the stuff that I'm doing right now, it's all from TikTok, and I think I'm addicted to it. It's crack, guys. If you can, please try to limit yourself. I'm on this thing for at least an hour or two before I go to bed, and I think it's getting a little unhealthy.
Well, I think it's what it could be if you find something useful out of it. If you're okay, I'm going to really use this. I'm not just scrolling, looking at wasting time. But if you really are learning, like you said, you set up a phone call next week to, possibly, figure out what you can do to a side hustle. I saw one time on there that was people don't realize that there's crates, and you take these crates and you can sell them. And all I do all day is I just collect wooden crates, like pallets, and I take these pallets.
Yeah, crates.
And I was kind of interested in it. I was like, this is kind of an interesting way to make money. But then I looked, and he had a lot of land to store all the pallets, and then he had 2 different trucks, and I'm like, yeah, it takes a lot of capital to start with this pallet business.
This guy's came from a family of crates. This is in his lineage.
Yeah. You're not just driving around with your Honda with one pallet in the back. Hey, honey, I put a pallet in my trunk. Let's go make some money.
There's another guy that's kind of similar. That he talks about pennies, and he's like, yeah, if you see it, okay, this penny was made this year. That penny, and he goes online, costs $3,200. I'm like, BS. So I was at the bank last week, and I noticed a sign that said, "We are out of pennies."
Nice. We're out of pennies because people are doing that thing now, right?
Probably. I don't know. It's a big trend right now. Everything I'm doing is from TikTok. The whole Rice Krispie treats pre-workout. I'm doing that.
What's that? Tell us about that. What's the Rice Krispie treat pre-workout?
Apparently, these simple carbs, give you a good pump at the gym. but I just noticed I'm just gaining weight. I don't know.
Who's your
Like,
doctor?
how many am I
My
supposed to
doctor's
eat?
on TikTok. He told me to have Rice Krispie treats.
It's my glucose.
Dude, I
My
did the same
insulin
thing when I
level's
first joined the boxing gym. I'd go to the boxing gym, work out really hard, and I'd almost feel lightheaded. And then my ritual was to go walk a block away to the convenience store and buy a chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Because I heard it was like, like the like the chocolate and the milk. It's supposed to like replenish your muscles and I remember like there was this old school cholo that was he was like he was just a member of the community. He wasn't even like a trained professional boxing coach or nothing. But I remember like this is all within the first 3 or 4 months. He used to always like roast me. It was hilarious because when I got my boxing gloves, I went down to Big Five and I didn't realize that people. The real boxers, the real people that are into it, they go to like specialty stores and they get the leather-made boxing gloves. And mine were made of plastic. They were from Big Five. They were like $30, Yeah. And that dude was like totally like roasted. He's like, "Bro, what is this? They're made of plastic. Like, does one say kapow? Does glitter come out, bro? I'm surprised they don't have tassels. You get this from Toys R Us? What the?" And he's like, "They're made of plastic, bro. It's not gonna last long. You need some made of leather." And then I told him, and then I asked him his because he was talking about taking like B12 shots and how that replenishes like the B12 and and because he'd give the professional fighters like hey, you want some vitamins and so he asked me what kind of supplements I was taking, and I go, honestly, dude, I just go to the market right there. They drink chocolate milk.
Dairy farms.
And it was like a dairy farm. And the look on his face was priceless. He just kind of cocked his head back and he goes, "Bro, you wouldn't last in prison."
Why?
I don't know. Just hey guys, I take chocolate milk as my post workout.
But that was the thing, though, like in the 80s, right? You grew up in the 80s. That was the huge campaign, like, milk, it does a body good, remember that?
I know.
That was like, I hated milk growing up. The only time I enjoyed milk was like with cereal, but when I saw like mostly my American friends would drink milk just by itself, I'm like, how do you do that? my younger brother liked milk, by the way.
Oh, did he?
So I thought it was always like an American thing. I'm like, I can't do milk by itself. And I was like, and then later on, like, just till recently, I guess, in the last 5 years, people were like, milk is for animals, it's not for human beings,
But you're right, though. Like, I remember those old bodybuilding magazines and the videos, those bodybuilders would have a big gallon of milk and they would, in between, reps, they would drink some milk. And, so milk was a big thing back then.
Yeah, and I was watching this. Have you seen the documentary with Arnold Schwarzenegger called Pumping Iron?
Yep.
Yeah, one of the guys, he was like, "Hey Arnold, do you drink milk?" And he goes, "Milk is for babies." I don't drink milk. I was like,
milk is for babies.
I'm not the only one. Okay.
How about strawberry milk? Did you ever like strawberry milk?
Strawberry milk, I actually like the Nestle Quick Strawberry Mix one. That was good with the one that powder and you put it with milk. That was cool.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah. I like the chocolate one too. But other than that, dude, I just couldn't take. I tried it for a little bit because I was a short kid and I was like, I just tried to drink milk. It wasn't for the taste. It was because I wanted to be taller. So, my body just couldn't take it. It's like,
I'm writing a bit now about measuring your height. So what happened was, I had my driver's license on the kitchen counter, and my son saw it, and he's like, "Dad, why did you write down that you weighed 165?" Which is funny because I probably weigh 195, and I don't know about you, but ever since I got my original driver's license, I pretty much have kept the same weight on the license. I think I moved it up like 5 pounds once in the 90s, but it's not that accurate. And so my wife walks over and she's like, "You're not supposed to write down your goal weight." And then she looks at the license even closer and she's like, "And did you write down your goal height?" And that made me think, like, when you measure yourself, like your height, what do? You get the perfect posture, you pull your belly button into your spine, you hold your shoulders back, you stretch your neck out, like every vertebrae is like, you've never, you stick your neck up as high as you can because they're about to measure. You're like, not yet. Like you're poking your neck up as high as you can, like a turtle that's curious looking over a wall to hear some gossip. You know, you're like, what you guys talking about? And right at that moment, you're like, okay, measure me. You know, and that's your height, right? That's, you want to get his top.
Yeah.
You're like, honey, hand me my boots and my top hat. Like,
Yeah. I was the opposite. I didn't do any of that. I didn't have any. I just like, please don't let me have them take off my shoes.
oh yeah.
Please don't let me take off the shoes.
And then you-
the shoes at that 2-inch. I'll take the 2-inch, man.
Yeah, and then they take off the shoes. You're like, no, not my Jordans, my Jordans. And then how about this? You're like, can you try to wear your thickest socks that day? You're like, oh, let me wear my winter socks. Yeah, I got layered socks. There you go. I got 5 layered socks. Dude, can you take off every sock that you're wearing? Oh, sorry, I'm shrinking with each sock.
Just peeling an onion socks.
I was performing once. I was traveling with, like an onion, peeling an onion. I remember performing with from Mad TV, Johnny Sanchez. And he's probably,
Johnny, so funny.
I think he's about 5. He's funny and he's about 5'5". That's what he says. Who knows if he really is. And, which is hilarious, right? Because he's Mexican, 5'5". I go, dude, that's like Cinco de Mayo. It's perfect. But like, and as he was, I remember we were walking in the airport, and you have to go through the metal detector, and I noticed that he was on his tippy toes, like as he was going through, he's going on his tippy toes, and I go, dude, were you going through there on your tippy toes in the airport? And he's like, you saw that, dude? Those girls were behind me. You saw that?
He did not do that.
He really did. When he went through, he was on his tippy toes. Like, dude, what are you doing? You're on your tippy toes.
I love Johnny, man. That guy's hilarious.
So that's what you do when you're on your height. Now, what about your weight? I was thinking when they weigh you, when you're being weighed, you do the opposite. You don't want any clothes on. You try to get down. You know, like I've even like taken out my contact lenses. I'm like, I don't want anything. And then you try to exhale. You're like, and you step on the scale. Let me ask you this: when you weigh yourself on the scale, do you go with the first answer that you see, or do you jump on there? Do you go on there 3 times and take the average?
Probably. I go with the first one.
What if you don't like the answer? What if you don't like the answer?
It's like there's no question about it because it's digital.
I tend to disagree because I've been on digital scales, and depending if I start with my left foot, it might go one way. If I start with my right foot, it might go another way. Have you ever? Maybe you have a really good scale. I
upgraded my scale. There was one of those scales I had too where it was just like, okay, why is this? But then I bought a new one, and that was pretty accurate. And I just get on the first thing in the morning without taking any food or drinks, and it's pretty solid because I step on it and it's like, okay, buddy, it's the same thing.
Let's document this. Let's document this. As of this recording, say how much do you weigh?
I haven't weighed myself. That's crazy. I haven't weighed myself in a year.
No wonder you're so happy.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, because now you have no idea. You're like, I know I feel good. I could tie my shoes and my stomach doesn't hurt. I'm in great shape.
Yeah. And it was a time when I couldn't tie my shoelaces. That was crazy.
You're like, I'm all about that Velcro life, son.
Right. Yeah. I can cross my legs now.
You could cross your legs. Yeah, that's good. That's a good sign. That's how you judge. If I can cross my legs and tie my shoes, I know I'm good to go.
I think my heaviest was like 187, and I know I'm about 5'8", 5'9" on a good day. I think that was the heaviest I weighed.
What about a bad day? If you're 5'9" on a good day, what are you on a bad day?
Is height wise?
Yes.
Yeah, 5'7", 5'6", maybe.
Really? When the weight of the world is just all up on you, you're like, just shoulders are shrugged. Oh, boy.
Right.
I'm sitting in front of a gym and I don't see anybody. So that Ring camera, back to that Ring camera. So people, so does it alert only when people, so when does it go off? Like when does it start recording? When people are within like a 2-foot radius of your vehicle, or?
Yeah, there's a setting where you can set the alert points. So it's like a little dot, and you can kind of like drag out the dots
Yeah.
to like certain areas. So if there's an intruder or somebody passing that area, it'll alert your phone, and it's like a little chime, like ring, ring.
Wow.
Which is kind of cool.
Is it cool? Or is it obsessive? Like, do you leave your car in a parking lot and then you keep getting these alerts and you're like, who's by my car?
No. Actually, I'm kind of curious why it's not chiming as much as I want it to. The only time it really does is when I get in the car and it tells you, hey, someone's in your car. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's me.
Did you get the real
version? I'm not around who's near my car, and they don't. I'm like kind of curious. Is this working correct?
Did you get? Oh, are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, I just touched a button by accident. Did you get the? Did you get the real version, or did you get like a knockoff?
No, I got the real version from Best Buy.
Oh, that's good.
Shouts out to Best Buy. Yeah.
Shout out to Best Buy. We know you're listening, Best Buy. Yeah. Unlike you, Circuit City. Where have you been?
Yeah. I dig it, though. The cool thing about the Ring is, like, they give you neighborhood watches. So people, like, it's crazy because there's people who has the Ring, too, and they post up on their forums and alert you. Like, last week, like, someone, like, lost their dog or lost their cat. Someone got shot, like, 2 weeks ago. That was crazy.
Oh, no.
Yeah, dude. Like some guy posted, it's like, hey, I woke up and I heard gunshots and I ran outside and I don't think he made it. I was like, whoa. And I'm looking at they even give you like where it happened. It was like 3 blocks away from where I was staying at. I'm like, oh, I'm glad I don't ever go to that side.
Dude, that's scary. That's very scary.
Yeah.
I like it when there's like helpful information. I don't like it when they start getting into like politics or something weird, or like we should all boycott this one store because they believe something different than It's like, dude, can we stop? Just leave that on Twitter or leave it somewhere else. Let's just keep this to what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. It's just alert for like missing stuff or people stealing stuff, and they even show you like video snippets of people like stealing like food. It's like, who's stealing like DoorDash food, stealing shoes in the front porch?
I think my brother-in-law, because my brother-in-law has the oh yeah, it's funny, oh my god, stealing DoorDash food. So my brother-in-law has the Ring, and I rang the doorbell, and then of course like it recorded it, and then he thought it was a goof. He put it out there like this guy's been this guy rang my doorbell and walked away. Has anyone seen him? And then somebody was like, that looks like a creep. Why is Bruce Willis at your house? Or I think he wrote it. He's like, this creep has been ringing my doorbell. It's like, you dumbass. Like, he might have, I don't know if he actually posted that, but he made it look like he posted it and he sent it to me as a goof. I'm like, you asshole.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rims. Shout out to Rims. Yeah. Hey, I want to ask you a couple of trivia questions. And by the way, guys, listen, I do this out of my own pocket, and any helpful tips would be much appreciated. I'm on Venmo at Darren Carter Comic, PayPal, DarrenCarter.com. Go there, and I got a PayPal. I'm also available on CAMEO. I will do personal video birthday shout-outs, anniversary shout-outs. I'll do roasts. I'll do a pep talk, and I'm affordable. Go there now. All right. Are you ready, Say? I came up with these trivia questions myself, and then we're going to get into the ones from the internet. But so there's this millennial at one of the clubs. He's, I think, 28, and I wanted to see if he knew these answers. And I've asked a few people. Some people get all the. I think that I'm going to guess. I'm thinking you're going to get 90% of the questions right.
Really? Okay. Mm-hmm. Keep in mind I was a kid in the 80s, so...
Yeah, okay, maybe you'll get like 85%. Okay, listeners, are you ready? Here we go.
Okay.
So I grew up with a television show called Happy Days, and Happy Days had a cool character named Fonzie. Where was Fonzie's office?
Fonzie's office? Shucks, man. Was it at a diner?
Yes, it was at Arnold's Diner, a.k.a. Big Al's, a.k.a. it was in the bathroom. It really was. It was in the men's room.
Men's room? Okay.
Yeah, which is kind of weird.
That was my older brother's favorite show, by the way.
Oh, yeah. So your older brother would get an A on this. Okay. Are you familiar with Steve Austin?
Stone Cold Steve Austin?
No, the previous version. Here's my question. Steve Austin, He was the $6 man. How much money? $6
million?
Yes. $6 million man. Yes. You got it. Okay. Who in the 80s, or maybe it was the 90s, I think it was the 90s, who was too legit to quit?
Too legit to quit. Oh, too legit to quit. That was MC Hammer.
That's right. You got it. The Gap Band had a song called You Dropped a Blank on Me. What was the blank?
You dropped the bomb on me.
Yes.
Baby.
Okay, here. Now we're going to get into your acting ability. How did Woody Woodpecker laugh? Dude, that was really good. That was really good.
Was it good?
Yeah. The first time I asked Austin that, my son Austin, he must have been around 7. I go, how did Woody Woodpecker laugh? And then he started wringing his hands and he went, I was like, no. Hey, I like your Woody Woodpecker voice. I love the other voice you do, where you could make your voice sound like a little like robot or whatever. Can you do that for us? How would you talk like a little mouse?
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. That one?
You should have that voice. Please step away from the vehicle. Please step away from the vehicle.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good. Have like a speaker and a microphone, so when people get in here, be like, "I'm hiding in the glove compartment."
What?
You should. You could act like you're like a little. I will kick you in your crotch.
I'm under the hood. What?
Oh yeah. See,
I'm under the hood.
okay, I'll be the robber. You be the alarm. Ready?
Get me out of here.
Is somebody in here? I think I heard a voice.
I'm under the hood.
Oh man, let's leave this car alone. Let's go. Okay, you're not good at improv. You're like laughing.
Stop or my mom would shoot.
I know. All right. And neither one of us, we're not too good at this improv thing. We should plan this out. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What would Popeye do to get stronger?
Popeye would, spinach.
Yes, he would eat spinach.
Yes.
Which is the reason I love spinach. Do you like spinach?
I love spinach. I love spinach because of Popeye.
That's right. Milk and Popeye. And, milk and spinach. That's gross. But do you know, okay, at the end of Johnny Carson's monologue, what sport would he mimic?
Johnny Carson was a little bit before my time, but I want to say golf.
Yes, golf. That's right. I remember one time I was at Western Bagel and I was riding and I was going to do a joke about Johnny Carson, and I asked the kid behind the counter. I go, I'm just trying to look for. Have you ever heard of Johnny Carson? And he goes, yeah, I think he works here on Tuesday mornings. I was like, no, dude, wrong Johnny. Okay. Who do you know? Who? I think he works here on Tuesdays, bro. He wouldn't last in prison. Who is too sexy for his cat?
I'm too sexy for his cat, right? Said Fred.
Yes, that's right. He's too sexy for his shirt, so sexy it hurts. Although Drake has a song now. I heard on TikTok Drake has a song about being too sexy.
Yeah, him and Future, they made a remix out of that.
How does it go?
Or they sampled it. I just know I'm too sexy. That's it. I don't know what else.
I'm too sexy for my shirt. So sexy it hurts. I'm too everything is auto-tuned now. I'm too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy that it hurts.
I don't know if that's auto-tuned. That sounds like you can get in trouble for.
I know. I'm too sexy. So rough, so tough. Okay.
So like droopy.
Yeah. Boo. I'm too sexy.
That's good.
All right, here we go. Here's the next one. Are you ready? If you were a carpenter and you had no pockets, where would you place your pencil? Where would you put your pencil?
This is a carpenter, no pockets. Where I place my pencil. That's weird.
Well, because I think nowadays kids are, people are using mostly tech. Like they don't even probably use a pencil, like they, like in the old days.
I don't know, pocket. You
don't have pockets. But the answer's behind your ear.
Pockets,
That's like the lame question. It was behind your ear,
okay.
But yeah, that was like I should have came up with a better question.
In your butt.
I know exactly. I know. That's why it's called a number 2.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. Hey-o. Do the golf swing. Yeah. What did Yogi Bear like? Yogi Bear. What did Yogi Bear like to steal?
Yogi Bear like to steal. Shucks. Ooh.
Hey, boo-boo. We're here at Jellystone National Park. I'm going to steal...
I want to say honey or sandwiches. I don't know why sandwiches.
Picnic baskets.
Picnic baskets. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, picnic baskets. And then when we go to the shady side of Long Beach, we like to break into that vehicle and take those Dr. Dre earbuds and sunglasses. Hey.
Gee, Yogi, he has a Ring camera.
Hey, it only works when he himself is in the vehicle.
Gee, Yogi.
All right, ready? No, here's from the internet. Ready? These are pop trivia questions from the 80s. 80s music quiz, 40 trivia questions. We won't do all 40, but guys, play along at home. Let's see if you can beat Say. In what year did Michael Jackson release the Bad album?
Ooh.
You can get within 3 years. I'll get just like the carnival when they guess your weight. You can get within three years.
Okay. I say 86.
87. Boom, you got
87.
it. Now this I did not know. Who duetted with Madonna on Love Song on her Like a Prayer album? Who duetted with Madonna? I had no idea that this person duetted with Madonna.
Like a Prayer? Life is
that's the album, but this...
mystery.
Yeah, the album is Like a Prayer.
Song?
The song is called Love Song, and it's on that album. And she duetted with the one and only... Do you give up? I'll give you the answer.
Who is it?
Prince.
Prince.
So if you guys look up Madonna, Prince song together. It's like, it sounds like Prince is singing and she's doing backup. It's crazy to hear those two voices together.
Oh.
Who told us to relax? Relax, go to it.
Don't do it when you want to go through it. Relax.
I'll give you a hint. It's a guy, and he tells us to. It says blank goes to Hollywood.
Is it Johnny goes to Hollywood? Frankie goes to Hollywood?
Yes, Frankie goes to Hollywood, and then
goes to Hollywood, yeah.
Johnny Sanchez goes to North Hollywood on his tippy toes over Laurel Canyon. All right. What was the biggest selling single of the 80s in the UK?
Biggest selling singles in the 80s.
Do they know it's Christmas? These are kind of hard, huh? These are kind of hard.
I don't know. NSX?
No, it was called Do They Know It's Christmas? Do They?
Okay.
By Band-Aid. Okay, let me see if I can get a better. Okay, here we go. Straight Outta Compton was a game-changing album in hip-hop by which group?
NWA.
No, the Golden Girls. No, just
Golden
kidding.
Girls.
No, it's NWA. It's NWA. Yeah. No, the Oak Ridge Boys. Well, I'm straight out of Compton. Why is that? Well, I got off on the wrong exit. That's why. Get me out of here. Straight out of Compton and back into Bakersfield. Okay. Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel knocked his former band off the #1 spot of the Billboard Hot 100. What was the name of the band?
Sledgehammer?
Yeah, this is so boring. Genesis, Invisible Touch. I don't even know what the hell that means.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is good. I'm bored with this now. Okay. Last one. Which Rick? Oh, we'll go back to my son, AusTheBassBoss. Which Rick Astley song became #1 in 25 countries? Just think of a popular Rick Astley song, and that's the answer.
I don't.
I'll give you another clue. AusTheBassBoss. If you go to his YouTube channel, it has 1.2 or whatever. He has 1,020,000 views over, and he did this song. He shows you how to play this song by Rick Astley. I'll give you another hint. Rick Roll.
Rick Roll?
What is the song when they call it Rick Roll, when you get Rick rolled?
Shucks. Let me see.
Let me see. It sounds like you're Googling it. yeah, that's it. It's called Never Gonna Give You Up.
That's the only song I know by him, by the way.
Oh, really? You don't know the Together Forever and Ever Apart?
I know that one, too.
I'll be together forever with you. How about Straight Out of London? I'm straight out of London. No, I don't know.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Doesn't ring a bell. All right. Say M, my buddy, my pal. It's been a treat. Anything? Did you? Halloween's coming up, and do you have any Halloween memories?
Halloween memories? Not really fun ones. I was kind of poor growing up. I just remember, like my mom never bought me a costume. It was always like last minute. And I remember one year I always wanted to go trick or treating, but she's like, "No, we live in a dangerous neighborhood. I want to go." And then my cousin came over. She's like, "Hey, we're gonna go to like Bel Air. Do you want to go trick or treating with us?" I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Okay, we'll go get your costume." And I was like, "Mom, we're going to Bel Air." She's like, "Oh, I don't have a costume for you." I was like, "Well, let's make one up." And I remember she just grabbed some lipstick and just smeared my face with it and just kicked me out. I'm like,
really?
I look like I was like looking back. I was like, I probably look like Joker.
Yeah.
The questions I had from people in the neighborhood was like, what are you supposed to be? I was like, the drag queen? I don't know.
A guy who got attacked in a strip club?
Right.
By the kissing bandit?
Yeah,
that is true about the nice neighborhoods. When Austin was really little, we'd go to Toluca Lake, and they had the king size candy bars, man. And a lot of the people are in the film industry, and so like they really go all out with their front yards. Like they make it's like a movie set. I mean, I actually was walking in the neighborhood the other day, and people they're actually building and doing construction and building like these haunted houses and stuff. It's so cool to see people getting into it and giving back, and it's with the dry ice and the fog, and it's incredible. We used to go to Bob Hope's house, and Bob Hope's house, they'd have at the very long driveway, at the very end, they'd have a security guard, and they would give you like some candy bars, or I remember we have like some playing cards, and it said from the Bob Hope family, and it's so cool to have that. Like, wow, memorabilia. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I'll let you get on with your day. It was always good talking with you, and thank you for taking a part of your day out to do this. And in closing, do you have any words of wisdom, something you've learned along the way, something you'd like to tell our listeners to make their lives a little bit better, a little bit easier?
Words of wisdom. Just add value to yourself, man, and keep eating Rice Krispie treats, and just and tippy toe your way through life. Will be good.
Yeah. Also, don't weigh yourself. If you weigh yourself and you like the number, just let it go. Just don't do it for another year. Be like, okay, I'm good. I weigh 160. We're good. Yeah. Say, lots of laughs. You're the best, man. Thank you so much for being on the Pocket Party podcast, and we'll get you back sooner than later. Thank you.
We're done with this interview.
Thank you for watching. Now, please subscribe and ring that notification bell.
Everybody listen to Darren Carter. We all know he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, then listen to the Pocket Party.